about to give them what they want.
Go Beastmode, dude.
I don't think they're ready for this, though. Beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode.
What's good, YouTube? You know who it is. Chris Jones, representing Pump Chasers, fam. Having a little dinner with Denise. Say hey, Denise.
Hello.
Having a little, he does. That's a protein. That's a protein. So, fam, breaking news. Jeff Nippard, he just got assaulted in the gym.
Damn.
So this just happened. Big Mike Van Wyck just assaulted Jeff Nippard in the gym.
By Mike Van Wyck. I want to talk about it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna have my dinner. I'm gonna go in the office. We're gonna chat about it, right? Bam. All right, homies and homies. So here we are. We're in my office. All right. Let's talk about this topic. Before we do, you already know. Head on down to Tiger. Finish that gum and get your pump chaser subs. You in that gym? You're in that gym. You need your electrolytes. We got the Intra Pump electrolytes with BCAAs in here. Tasty, tasty. Trying to get lean, chiseled, abs. You get your pump chaser subs. Get your Cuts FTS, all right? Get your Cuts FTS. Fuck with the best. All right, so let's talk about this Jeff Nippard and Mike Van Wyck situation. I'm pretty sure if you click on this video, you're fully aware of what's going on, but for the very small percentage of people that don't, all right? Mike Van Wyck has assaulted Jeff Nippard, okay? Two guys that make YouTube videos. And this is how it started pretty much. Check out this clip right here from Mike Van Wyck. Check out this reel he posted.
We all know the science-based guys. Any top three you choose. Tell me if you would describe their physique as excellent, average, or mediocre. And where would you put them in that? I guarantee you it's not in excellent. It's somewhere in the middle, right? Science guys really need to answer this question before anything. Why is it that you remain so mediocre, yet you know so much? Because if I knew a lot of shit, I would be very well-versed and good at that topic, right? Like say I was some financial wizard. I knew how to like read the stock market and I'm like, I can see investments and like I can see what businesses are gonna succeed. I'd be fucking rich, right? People would be like, yeah, he's a fucking genius because like look at him, he applied it and it fucking worked. Bodybuilding, you can be like this big or this short in some cases, maybe this short in other cases. It's always short though, no taller than Bassett. Somehow you're an expert on muscle.
So as you see, Mike Van Wyck was shitting on science-based lifters. And Jeff Nippard responded. He responded, check out this clip right here.
We all know the science-based guys. Science guys really need to answer this question before anything. Why is it that you remain so mediocre, yet you know so much?
I know I don't need to respond to this, but since he asked, using science-based training, I won Natural Bodybuilding Nationals. I earned my pro card on the most competitive stage in the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. I placed second in my first bodybuilding pro show, and while doing this, I set the Canadian record on the bench press, and I set a provincial record on the squat. I currently weigh 180 pounds at 5'5" tall, which is pretty close to my natural limit given my height and my genetics. That's all besides the point though, because facts are facts. Information is either right or wrong. It doesn't matter who that information is coming from. If the people with the best physiques had the most knowledge, why would C-Bum need a coach? He has the best physique on the planet. Who could possibly know more than him? Well, it's pretty obvious that bodybuilding success comes from great genetics and really hard training, and if you want to make it in the IFBB, steroid use. I like science because it gives me more confidence in what actually works and what doesn't, because it isolates variables. If you trust a big guy's advice over scientific studies, that doesn't bother me. I listen to what big guys have to say too.
So hopefully now we're up to speed so we can chop it up on this topic. Mike made a video, Jeff responded, literally a day later, that situation took place. Jeff was assaulted by Mike, okay? So let's just go ahead and address the obvious. Mike Van Wyck is clearly in the wrong here. Clearly in the wrong here. Not only is he in the wrong from a legal standpoint, that's illegal. Assault is illegal, period. Not only is he wrong from a legal standpoint, he's also wrong from a moral standpoint. Mike is much bigger than Jeff. Not all, and look, I'm not one of these sizes everything guys. Let me tell you, I've seen some things with these. Trust me, I can tell you stories for days. Size is not everything. However, collectively as a society, we do agree Collectively, as a society, we do agree that size matters because in combat sports, they literally have weight classes for a reason. So size is not everything, but size does matter to some degree. Not only is he wrong from a legal standpoint, he's wrong from a moral standpoint. On top of that, Jeff literally had his hands down. He was in an unaggressive position. He was not in a defensive position, and he was not in an offensive position. He was in a neutral, hands down position, even slightly behind him. Hands down, slightly behind him position. So not only is Mike wrong from a legal standpoint, he's wrong from a moral standpoint. I think we can, for the most part, we can agree. Even you, Fuad, we saw that video. Mike is my friend.
Anybody out there who's messaging me because they think I'm going to kick Mike off the podcast because of whatever happened between him and Jeff, please don't message me anymore. Please don't comment to me anymore about it. Mike will be on the podcast as long as he wants to be. Mike will be my friend forever.
Mike is my friend. He's wrong. I'm here. I don't cut off. Hey, man, let me tell you something. You know, I know a lot of people disagree with that, but that's how I roll too. You know, a lot of you guys, y'all remember my homeboy Sock, the one that got out of prison after doing 10 years, you know? That's how I am. If I fuss with you, if I ride with you, I'm gonna ride with you. Unless you do some shit that is clearly against code. Hey, for fun, any of you guys, we have an inner circle. Y'all know y'all ain't perfect, but y'all live by a code. Give me one of y'all codes y'all live by that's unbreakable, you know? Like if they break one of these codes, you ain't fucking with them no more. But one of my codes is anything having to do with children, can't fuck with you. I found you having anything to do with children, especially, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Especially sexual acts against children. Taking advantage of children, absolutely not. You know, we ain't perfect people. But if I fuss with you, if we're on some like inner circle type shit, I don't expect you to be perfect, but some codes just can't be broken. Like if I find out you cheat on your girlfriend or some shit like that, shit ain't right, right? I'm not gonna cut my homeboy over that shit. Or for an example, my homeboy slaps the shit out of some cat. That shit ain't right, but I'm not gonna cut him off over that. Especially if the guy he slapped, we don't fuck with anyway. You know, that's just how we move. Not saying it's right or wrong. So, you know, Fuad, you know, shout outs to you. But yeah, even you gotta agree. Even you gotta agree. Unless you just want to mic sheep. Unless you're participating in idol worship. You participate in idol worship when you can't even go with the truth. So, you know, we gotta agree that wasn't right. From a moral standpoint or a legal standpoint. I think we can agree here. Now, if you guys don't mind, I would like to give my personal opinion. My personal opinion, forget all the universal law shit, all that shit out the window right now. Just forget all that universal law talk. Forget all the talk about the numbers. Forget all that talk right now. I just want to give my personal opinion as Chris Jones. Okay, because believe it or not, I'm one of you. And I have my own personal opinion. Let's forget about the laws of the land, the universal laws, and all that shit. And I just want to give you my personal opinion. Can I please do that? I say this because I know the internet is a very sensitive place. Okay? I found that out yesterday. I posted a short and I posted an Instagram story. Fam, all I did was give my own opinion. Now, I could have delivered my opinion, you know, a little more empathetic, you know, sympathetic, you know, maybe cue some sad music in the background, pretending like I give a fuck. But that ain't me. I think the situation's a little funny, and my video reflected that. You know, some people took it as disrespectful. You know, it is what it is. So I say this with love. I'm giving my personal opinion. I don't expect everybody to agree. Honestly, I don't want everybody to agree with me. That's why I'm letting you know. This has nothing to do with universal laws and the laws of the land. It's just my personal fucking opinion. Period. So, my personal opinion now, even though Mike was wrong, Jeff could have avoided this situation. He could have avoided this situation. We're not victim blaming here. Not victim blaming here. Not victim blaming. All I'm saying is, it's obvious Jeff didn't want no smoke. This man walked up to him aggressively, hand up like this, and he just stood still with his hands behind his back. See, Jeff has a lot of faith in humanity. Jeff, to some degree, he probably assumed, because I didn't even notice at first, fam. Mike and Jeff literally go to the same gym. I assumed Mike got so mad, he hopped in his car, Googled what Jeff Nippard works out at, and followed him. No, they go to the same fucking... So this is weird. Like, all this passive-aggressive shit, they could have hashed this shit out in private. They could have hashed this shit out in private. Okay? And look at this comment right here. This comment was made in Mike's comment section. Long story short, after Jeff Nippard made that video, he told the people, he told his followers that Mike blocked him. Right? So that right there lets you know, to some degree, Jeff got to Mike. To some degree, Jeff got under Mike's skin. To some degree, and based off Mike's actions, that is true. To some degree, Jeff got under Mike's skin because Mike blocked him. And then you go to Mike's page in his comment section. So there's a comment from a man named Michael. Shout out to you, Michael. Jeff Nippard just answered your question via Instagram reel. How about unblocking him, unblocking him, and actually having a conversation with him instead of hiding behind a block button. Hiding behind a block button. I know that stung. See, Mike was hitting Jeff. He was really taking all his frustrations out on Jeff. See, he was really visualizing this Michael guy. Mike says this: I see him daily in person. So they see each other daily. They could have hashed this shit out off camera. I see him daily in person, and he knows exactly what I think of him. Oh shit. He's a bitch. And so are you. Damn. So, again, this situation could have been avoided. Jeff knows, according to Mike, and I believe him. According to Mike, Jeff knows exactly how he feels about him. No secret. And if you notice, fam, peep the game. In Mike's video, the one we saw earlier, he didn't mention no names. He said science guys.
We all know the science-based guys. Science-based guys.
He was talking about these science-based lifters who seem to have all the answers, but they don't have all the gains. He didn't say any names. See, there's an old school saying that goes like this: if it don't apply, let it fly. If it don't apply, let it fly. See, we talk about these laws of the land and things like that, but you gotta understand, there's unwritten laws that a lot of men live by. If it don't apply, he could have just simply ignored that. If he would have ignored that, I promise you, I'm willing to bet that assault would have never happened. He didn't let it fly. Not only did he not let it fly, Jeff made a video responding, but he made a video responding using Mike's image. See, this is why we gotta understand the game. See, there's the laws of physics, And then you have the laws of metaphysics. What I would have done, I would have applied equal force. And a lot of rappers do this. You know how you send a subliminal shot at somebody, and then that rapper will send a subliminal shot back, no names mentioned? That's what, if Jeff was going to respond, I would have responded like that. But you use that man's name, you use that man's image, you put that invisible crown on your head. He spoke out to the universe, and you took it upon yourself to put that crown on your head. We're not victim blaming here. We're not victim blaming here. I'm giving my personal opinion because let me tell you, I've lived several past lives and I've seen a lot of things. So I have a personal opinion that I'm pretty sure is not going to be like everybody else's, which is why I asked you guys, can I just give my opinion? We already agree. Mike was wrong legally and morally, but let me cook and give my opinion, my personal opinion. The shit could have been avoided. It's obvious Jeff didn't want no smoke. So why poke at the bear? You know, yes, fam, we have laws to protect us, but believe it or not, it takes time for police to arrive. If you're in a situation with someone and you thought you gotta call the police, there's a good chance by the time they get there, it might be too late. You know, so there's an old saying that goes like this: the best cure is prevention. I'd rather just prevent drama altogether if possible, because if you know anything about quantum physics, remember, physics, there's so many endless possibilities of how things can go, A all the way through Z. All those multiple realities, you're just one decision away from being in a completely different reality. One mistake can change your life, you know? So I'd rather avoid drama altogether if possible. And one way to avoid that situation was just simply ignore that video, act like you never saw it. And if you are gonna respond not using any names, period. Now let's get to the situation inside the gym, because I said some shit that pissed a lot of people off.
Look at Jeff. Let's run that shit back. Run this shit back. Why the hell you just standing there, Jeff? Look at this shit. He walking to you. Look at them eyes. He got the crazy eyes. He got his hands opened, and Jeff just standing there.
And that was not my intention. I said, where my Bible at? You know, because there are some people that think I did that for clout, that think I, you know, got on the video laughing about the situation for clout. I kind of got a fucked up sense of humor, fam. I grew up watching South Park and everything. My sense of humor is a little out there. You know, I stand by that. Hands on the Bible. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I was just giving my honest opinion. I thought the shit was hella funny. Because let me tell you something. If you're going back and forth with another man, and then you happen to see him at the gym, and he got the fire in his eyes, and he walking to you, hand like this, I mean, shit's about to get real. Period. You gotta know how to read a room. You don't gotta be a street cat, just basic street smarts. You know, the world is a big street. Like everywhere you go, there's gonna be people. People get bullied in middle school. Bullying happens everywhere, not just in the streets. You gotta know human nature. And based off that body language, we have sign language. People can literally talk with their hands. Your body is a fucking instrument. Your body speaks a language too. And people who are really good with human nature, people have been in several situations. People have seen several situations. You can clearly look at that man and tell he wasn't coming to talk. But maybe Jeff has not been in these type of situations before. Maybe he's never been in these kind of situations. I've been in these situations many times. I've been on the sideline. I've been in the midst of them. And that was not a talking situation. He was coming. You know, so if you don't want no smoke, either step back and create some distance, cause a scene, make a lot of noise to, you know, get this shit diffused. To get this shit diffused. He didn't do a good job of reading that room. He did not do a good job of reading that room. Remember, I'm not victim blaming, but just think about it like this. What if Jeff was pushed and he hit his head on that metal rack right next to him? It was like a little metal rack right next to him. What if he just fell? Remember quantum physics. What if he just fell a few feet to the left and hit it? That could have been very tragic. But here he is putting his hands down in a hostile situation. He's putting his hands down. See, you're putting your faith in humanity. You're putting your faith in Mike. See, I put my faith in God. And this is why you gotta have your eye on, because when you have your eye on, you see those hidden numbers. You see that body language. You know this is not a hands down situation. This is the step to the side situation. This is the step back situation. This is the scream and make noise to get attention to the situation. This is not a hands down, let's talk about a situation. That's all I was trying to say. You gotta know how to read a room. You gotta know how to read body language. Because like I said earlier, it takes time for the cops to arrive. You gotta do some shit on your own till they do. Which is again why, if you know you don't want no smoke, just try to avoid drama altogether. Y'all go to the same gym. Y'all should have been able to hash this shit out off camera. And if y'all can't come to an understanding, at least understand to keep y'all distance. If you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you, and that's fine. You know, one of my favorite quotes from Jesus, he says, "Come with me, I will make you the fishers of men." But you gotta understand, that's how all spirits work, including myself. We're all fishing for something. I'm fishing for more clients pretty soon. I'm looking to get some people on that stage, by the way. We're all fishing for something. From what it seems, from what I viewed, it looks like Jeff took the bait. Mike baited him in by talking about those science people, didn't mention any names. Jeff took the bait, and this was the ritual he was in. Luckily, he wasn't hurt or killed. The shit could have ended very bad for him. It will be great in a perfect world if everybody we disagree with, we can have civil dialogue, civil conversation, and get down to the numbers. That would be great. What a world that would be. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't live by those rules. If you and another person have a disagreement online and you happen to run into them in real life, understand it's not guaranteed, right? It's not for sure that you're gonna have a fight, but that's always a possibility. Has Mike Van Wyck given you the impression, has he given you the impression that he's a scholar? Are there any videos of him debating anybody? You know, sometimes we gotta take the hints. The man blocked him. He blocked him. You know, sometimes we gotta take hints when to leave certain people alone. And if you're still going to poke at these certain people, well, you better have some self-defense classes or a weapon, some backup, security, something, or be a victim. Again, we're not victim blaming here, but this is the real world. And sometimes in the real world, shit gets real. In the real world. That shit could have ended very bad for him. Because again, poking a bear and not reading the room. Now some people are gonna say, fuck all that reading the room shit. And disagreeing with somebody should not come with smoke. I should be able to disagree without worrying about getting assaulted in the gym. And I agree 100%. But unfortunately, fam, we don't live in a world where everybody plays by the same rules. Everybody don't play by the same rules, and everybody don't worship the same God, and that's a fact. You know? So I keep that in mind. I bear that in mind when I'm out here navigating through society. I keep that in mind when I'm out here sharing space with other people. Well, anyway, y'all be sure to comment below and let me know what you think. If you like my shirt, I'm bulking, bro. You can get this shirt 50% off at beastmode316.com. Fuck with me. Don't forget to like my shit, comment, subscribe, and buy 30 of them bitches minimum. Tasty, tasty. Holla back at your boy.
Moment of silence. We need a moment of silence before we fuck up these weights.